I tried to beat Pokemon Scarlet using only water types. Could an army of sea creatures overcome the region's toughest trainers and submerge Paldea beneath the waves, or would we be drowned and out of our depth? Well, let's find out. To sink Paldea, we need a truly powerful trainer. Introducing Archie, a man with one goal. Expand the ocean. Alright, old man, give me your water-type Pokemon or I'll start blasting. Who are you? That's not a part of our academy uniform. This is the uniform of my team. Team Wet. That's the stupidest name I've ever heard. It's a work in progress. We forcefully abduct our first water-type recruit, Quaxly. With our pompous duct named Quackastrophe, we're going to bring this entire region to its knees. What do you say, Archie? Wanna be friends? I'm gonna drown your crocodile. After firmly affixing our team bandana, we begin our journey running through Poco Path on the hunt for more aquatic allies. However, the only thing we find is a giant red dragon washed up on the beach. Don't worry though, I've got just the fix for this guy. My trusty water pistol. With a swift hydrating facial, Koraidon is healed and naturally pledges his allegiance to Team Wet. There are an abundance of water types in Paldea to choose from, so let me know in the comments which water type is your favorite. Consider this your application to join Team Wet. Landlubbers need not apply. Pressing on, and while our one singular duck is very menacing, we need to boost our numbers if we want to crash through Paldea, starting with one of the most deadly, menacing water types to ever grace the world of Pokemon. Yes, this is exactly the kind of power we need. Psyduck may be nursing a headache 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, but this yellow goober is the perfect pairing for our other aquatic bird. Oh, what's that? You're not terrified by this twosome? Well, foolish viewer, there's another water type here that will definitely strike fear into the hearts of anyone. That's right, Wiglet. Actually, I'm not sure I can show this on YouTube. Armed with 2 ducks and 1 wiggly weapon, the leaders of Paldea should probably just step aside and let us begin our reign of terror. We are unstoppable. But before that, did you know that Japan has exclusive Pokemon merchandise which you usually can't get anywhere else in the world? Well, that's where Zen Market, our sponsor, comes in. With Zen Market, you can shop at over 10,000 Japanese stores like Rakuten, Mercari, and much more. Zen Market will handle the shipping for you, ensuring your items are well packed, and they can provide customer support in 19 languages. The site is really easy to use, and you can store your items with Zen Market for 60 days in case you want to bundle more items together to save on shipping. While browsing the website, I was able to find so much cool stuff that I've never even seen before, from fashion to figurines and just about anything in between. But I especially love this Iono keychain from Surugaya, as well as this Mr. Mime hug plushie, only available on the Japanese Pokemon Center for those of us like Ash who need a father figure in our lives. So, if you want something for yourself or a really cool gift for someone in your life, join the over 2 million users already on Zen Market. And as a special bonus, click my link in the description to register your account for free. And when you do, use the promo code KeeganJ to get 750 Zen points added to your account, which will save you about $5 on your first order. Happy shopping. So, we make a beeline to Mesagoza, ready to flood everyone in our path. That is, until we're stopped by Nemona. Alright, Nemona, how would you like to be recruited as Team Wet's cheerleader? Maybe you can work your way up to being a commander. No. I think I'd rather stay on land. Trader, prepare to fight! We're forced into a battle with Nemona, but we know exactly how this is going to go, as we once again drown her chubby reptile with a few water guns. All she has left is this ridiculous-looking rodent with a stupid light bulb hat. Nemona, you're such an idiot. Hey, you cheated! There's no way you should have beaten the great Archie. Dude, you have 3 water types. What did you expect? You need to touch grass. How could you say that? You know that all water trainers are allergic to touching grass. Clearly, our team isn't quite ready to set sail yet, as we lost to a single measly rat. Regardless, we can still proceed. Once inside the great city of Mesagoza, we stumble across some pathetic-looking grunts harassing an innocent bystander. So, naturally, we step in. Oh, thank you so much for coming to my aid. No problem, my newest Team Wet recruit. What? Yeah, hang on, what's Team Wet? That's such a lame name. How dare you say such a thing? You're not gonna let them slander us, are you, new recruit? Do you guys maybe want to join too? Curse these landlubbers. We have a new student joining today. Make sure to make them feel welcome. Listen up, cowards. I'm gonna submerge this classroom and everyone in it. Anyone who opposes my wrath will get one of these. I hate my job. Our goals in this challenge are simple. Defeat every gym leader and the champion, leaving no one to stand in our way, take on Titans in pursuit of the perfect team member, and abolish the pathetic Team Star so that Team Wet can ascend as the dominant team of Paldea. And with all these extra rules to make the challenge even harder, this is a task that cannot be taken lightly. So we set sail, bound for Cortondo, where our first gym battle awaits. But before that, we have to clear the gym challenge of rolling a giant olive, and this horrifies me. Hey, I'm allergic to grass and all plant life in general. I can't touch that thing. No, don't worry. This is a rubber olive. It's entirely synthetic. Ah, phew, good to know. Right, time to crush this challenge. God damn it. Now it's gym time, but to make this challenge even harder, I'm adding a bunch of extra rules, like no over-leveling past the next gym leader's ace, no using items from the bag in battle, and playing on set mode. So, with the difficulty turned right up, we stepped up to the first leader, Katie. Oh, aren't you a lovely trainer? Let's have a fruitful battle, shall we? I'm going to kill you. We were swollen and enraged, and Katie was going to pay for it. Against her lead Nimble, our wiggly warrior slaps mud in its face repeatedly, lowering its accuracy over and over again. This, combined with some Aqua Jets, are all we need to draw first blood. Then, against her tarantula, we repeat the ancient art of flinging dirt right into the spider's eyes. While Wiglet falls in the process, this clears the stage for our dominant duck to come on in and use work up to boost our offensive stats. With Katie unable to land an attack, now our boosted, deadly duck is ready to cook. A wing attack cleans up Tarantula, and once her Teddiursa transforms into a bug type, another wing attack sends that bear into the sky. We cleaned the floor with Katie, earning our first gym badge, and now it was time for her to walk the plank. You brought this upon yourself, Olive Girl. On top of Katie now sleeping with the fishies, after our battle, our first mate evolved into Quaxwell. And look, we have matching hat colors! You couldn't ask for a better crewmate than a duck with a pompadour. With our first gym triumph in the rearview mirror, now it was time to take on the first Titan, the King Crustacean Claw. Arven warns us that the Titan is nearby and to keep our eyes sharp. But he's so stupid. The Titan is right here, and it only takes a few water pulses for our pseudo-psychic duck to clean it up, giving us such a big win in short fashion. No, Archie, that's not the Titan. What do you mean? Did you see the size of that thing? There's no way something else could be... Oh, this big boy would be a big problem. Arven soon comes to our aid, and we take on the Crab King together, but hang on, is that a Shelder? A water type? You know what, Arven? I owe you an apology. I wasn't familiar with your game. Our dynamic duo of a duck and a clam quickly flushed the giant in just a few turns, using our super effective water attacks, giving us a decisive victory. Thanks for all the help, Archie. No problem, second in command. Wait, what did you call me? Don't worry, Private. We'll take out every Titan, and then you can become the assistant leader of Team Wet. Our first two boss battles have been very clean, but the next two gym badges are against both of the water type's weaknesses, and I am terrified of what's to come. Despite that, with one new recruit on Team Wet, we headed straight into Artisan Town for our next stop in the gym challenge. However, we are definitely deep in enemy territory. Look how many awful, disgusting flowers there are here. Truly a pirate's worst enemy. To make matters worse, the gym challenge for this one is to seek out Sunflora. This is no laughing matter. Sorry, gym official, I can't do this challenge. Oh, and why's that? I have a doctor's note prohibiting me from dangerous activities like touching grass. Here, see? Totally legitimate. Medical exemptions aside, now it's time for us to tackle the heinous gym leader, Brassius, and his grass types. This fight is no laughing matter. Even the deadliest monsters of the sea pale in comparison to the ferocious Flora. That said, with a powerful commander at the realm and two grunts by his side, I believe in our Wet Battalion. Brassius leads with a budding Petalil, and I was hoping that a single wing attack would be enough to take it out, but it somehow just survives. This lets Brassius land a sleep powder, putting us to bed before chipping away with powerful Mega Drains. Thankfully, we wake up within 2 turns, giving us just enough room to finish Petalil. Next is Smoliv, and come on, look at this little goofball. There's no way that it could ever tank a single hit. Smoliv retaliates with a painful Razor Leaf, bringing us into the yellow. And while we do take it out on the following turn, that's Olives 2, Archie 0. Thankfully though, this is where Brassius throws, because he sends out a Pseudo-Wudo. Ha, Brassius, you fool, we can crush rock types for breakfast. There's no way it... Oh. Oh no! Brassius literally cheats, turning his Sudowoodo into a grass type. The filthy cheater then spams Trail Blaze, a grass type move that also boosts his speed, and this is a nightmare. In just a few turns, our wet warriors are completely swept into the dirt for a very painful loss. That was an embarrassing defeat. It wasn't even close. How could we possibly overcome such a huge hurdle for water types? However, that's when it hit me. Well, if it isn't the Water Boy, back for another beatdown. Ha! Suit yourself, Brassius. But once I sink Paldea, I'm gonna start with your garden. I've got the God of the Sea in my team right now, and this is the only thing I need to beat you. Oh god, wait, we can talk about this. Too late, Brassius. Come on out, Poseidon. Gerp, gerp, gerp. Impossible! How did you best such a powerful creature? Are you secretly a champion? I mean this in the nicest way possible. Seek help. His words cut deep, but it's true. We do need help if we're gonna stand any chance of surviving this challenge and flooding Paldea. More specifically, I needed to bolster the ranks of Team Wet. So, I returned all the way to the Poco Path, as it's here that we can find our newest recruit, Wingull. Our new feathered friend is also a flying type, making it incredibly valuable against Brassius. But we can do one better. We may have already recruited one God of the Sea, but now it was time for another, Azurill. In its current form, it's merely a normal fairy type, but by taking it on a swimming lesson, as well as a little waterboarding for good measure, Azurill had honed its huge power enough to evolve into the menacing water mouse, Marill. I bet you're shaking in your boots looking at this monster, and Brassius soon will be too. We've amassed more recruits, but under my rules, I can only bring an equal number of Pokemon as each gym leader to make it a fair fight. So, armed with our new and improved roster, we stepped up to Brassius for round 3. While our Wingull does have a super effective Air Slash, it still isn't enough to get the one-hit KO as our Seagull starts to take a nap. Mega Drains are doing sizable damage too, meaning that we'd be facing certain death if Wingull doesn't wake up right now, and it does! With that lucky clutch, we draw First Blood with another Air Slash. Next comes Smoliv, who I expect to conquer, but of course, we miss Air Slash, allowing the Olive to continue tormenting us. It was an even 2v2, but we were about to unleash our secret weapon. Marill is our key to victory in this battle. And why is that? Because despite being built like a chicken nugget, Marill can somehow launch into the sky. Bounces do huge damage to the tiny troll, allowing us to take it down in 2 hits. But we aren't out of the woods yet. Brassius still has his Sudowoodo. We know firsthand just how deadly this thing is. However, this time, we have Marill. By using the move Charm, we massively nerf Sudowoodo's firepower. And while Marill is hanging on for dear life, we do hang on long enough to land a 3rd Charm, bringing Brassius's ace to -6 attack. With Marill falling, this leaves it all up to Quaxwell. Despite neutering Sudowoodo, its Trailblazers still do big damage, as we're doing about the same back with our wing attacks. We trade blows back and forth, hoping to somehow pull a slight edge. Unfortunately though, after we just survive a 4th Trailblaze, a 4th wing attack sees Sudowoodo just survive with the tiniest slither of health, and with all the speed boosts from Trailblaze, it's over, as we're about to be outsped and crushed. Except, I have a plan. Because Quaxwell knows Aqua Jet, a priority move that will go first, regardless of Sudowoodo's speed. A super speed Aqua Jet to the jaw is enough to just take down that deadly Sudowoodo, giving us an incredibly clutch win over one of our biggest hurdles of the entire challenge. That victory was truly delicious. We'd finally taken out our biggest enemies thus far. A bonsai tree, a seed, and worst of all, an olive. With the evil grass behind us, now we were bound for the 2nd Titan, Bombardier. And along the way, our team gets another power boost as Marill hits level 18 and already reaches its final form, Azumarill. With these impressive stats, as well as the huge power ability, Azumarill is a bona fide boss worthy of leading the team. With that upgrade, it was time to tackle the Titan of the Sky, but there's all these boulders in the way. Don't worry though, there's nothing that the measly land could do to stop us in our tracks. Bring it on, Boulder! Despite being crushed into a pancake, the Titan Bombardier puts up even less of a fight than those boulders. Our Water Rabbit charms the Titan's offense into the dirt before utterly pounding it into mush with a barrage of slams. Yes, the second Herba Mystica. Thanks for your help, Archie. Not a problem, my dear Team Wet intern. Although, I do have to dock you points for using a Rock-type Pokemon in battle. Seriously, I am not a part of your team. Don't worry though, eventually, I'm sure you'll work your way up to Wiglet's level. Hey, I'm at least better than a Wiglet, that's no fair. While we've already begun our takedown of Paldea's gyms and Titans, now it's time to begin tackling the third issue. Team Star and their stupid, lame squad that no one wants to join. Team Wet is so fetch right now. Hey Archie, Cassiopeia here. Glad to hear from you again. So, when will you start working for Team Wet? Never? Team Wet? That name sucks. How dare you? Nobody thinks that at all. No, they're right. It's lame, bro. Who are you? I'm Clive, and your team name stinks more than a muck left in the sun. That's not true at all. Everyone thinks it's a great name. Team Wet is the worst name I've ever heard. I'd rather my Mabastiff die than join Team Wet. I'm a Pelipper, and even I think that Team Wet is... Okay, maybe you guys have a point. Clearly, the Team Wet name isn't quite striking fear into the hearts of our enemies. Regardless, that wasn't going to stop me from flooding Paldea beneath the sea of waves. So, we prepared to take on the first boss of Team Star, Giacomo. Hey, look, it's the Wet Boy. Gonna jump in a puddle or something? Oh, foolish Giacomo. You have no idea what's coming. The bad boy DJ might be cocky, but he's about to be in a world of hurt. His lowly rook is kicked into next week by a quad-effective low sweep, and while Revavroom is a big car with a giant HP bar, the charming Azumarill and kicking Quaxwell are a powerful twosome that continuously chip away at the evil engine. With a few additional Aqua Jets from our Wiggly Warrior, we scrap the car's remaining HP, and with that, we decisively destroyed the first leader of Team Star. Oh my god, I can't believe I lost to Team Wet! Hold your horses, Giacomo. You didn't lose to Team Wet. That team is dead. Wait, what do you mean? From beneath the ashes of Team Wet has risen an even more powerful team, Team Splash. Now we are really on a roll. Team Star is starting to fall, while Team Splash is only on the rise. Especially as next, we step into the glitz and glamour of Levincia, the best city in Paldea. And why is that, you might ask? Because this city is surrounded by water. Such beautiful blue as far as the eye can see. You know what that means. Time to go for a swim. Wait, Archie, you seriously can't swim? Then why are you trying to flood the world? Shut up, Nemona. You just can't fathom my genius. Nemona had disrespected us, and now it's time for revenge. Her pathetic Rockruff can't withstand 2 water pulses from Psyduck before 2 Aqua Jets clean through her electric rodent. Last up is Nemona's Crocodile, but we flushed that disgusting fire type straight down the toilet for good measure. Ha! Now that's the powerful wrath of Team Splash. Wait, aren't you Team Wet? Keep up, Nemona. Things change quickly around here. We're still the top team, and now it's time to take on the third gym. Alright, Archie, for the gym challenge, I want you to play hide and seek with Director Clavel. Oh, don't worry, Iono. My trusty harpoon should make this a breeze. It's not my fault. The rules weren't clear. We'd created a literal bloodbath, but now we're about to be turned into one, as this gym is run by Iono, who specializes in the very dangerous electric type. She has a deadly, electrifying quartet of charged champions, including her ace Miss Magius. This is not going to be easy, especially since we can only bring in 4 Pokemon of our own to make it a fair fight. Regardless, I believed in our water types, so I stepped up to Iono, full of confidence, ready to show her what we can do. Okay, that went horribly. Seriously, while we can get past her Wattrel lead rather easily, Bellibolt is a demon. It tanks an Aqua Cutter from Quaxwell like it's nothing, before eviscerating our Corporal with a Spark. Even if we somehow manage to get past it, her Luxio is a menace too, managing to electrocute the rest of our troops like it's nothing. I tried again and again, but the end result was always the exact same. A team battered, electrified, and cooked one after the other. I thought Brassius was tough, but this Iono is on a whole other level. Was this really it? Would our ambitions of drowning Paldea be stopped by a content creator? God, that's even worse than Maxi. I couldn't stand for this, so it was time to regroup and boost the Team Splash recruitment intake. And I had just the Pokemon in mind that could solve our problems. Wooper. This little guy will be the perfect insulator to Iono's Vault Squad. Although, this one looks a little bit muddy. Don't worry, little guy. A bit of soap and elbow grease will clear that right up. Any day now. Any day now. Okay, despite Paldean Wooper being a traitor who abandoned its water type, thankfully we do have other options. The first of which is on the beaches of Paldea, where we can find Marini, the perfect vessel for spreading our toxicity across Paldea. But our biggest recruit can be found in the East Province, where, in the only redeemable part of the desert, we can find ourselves a Barboach. This small fry might not look intimidating, but it's going to make all the difference. Alright, Iono, it's time to unleash my master plan. You just brought a Magikarp again, didn't you? Alright, Iono, it's time to unleash my master plan B. This time, I lead with Azumarill, who tanks Wattrel Spark like a champ before Aqua Tail knocks that derpy bird out of the sky. Iono's chunky Belly Bolt is next, and this is where our Barboach comes in clutch. Its ground type gives Barboach an electric immunity, so Belly Bolt can only hit us with Water Gun. But by using Amnesia, Barboach massively boosts its special defense. This means that Water Gun gradually deals less and less damage, clearing a window for us to use our newest move, Stomping Tantrum. This does big super effective damage to the Lightning Frog, bringing it to the brink of death while we're at half HP. However, I need to heal up Barboach. By using Rest, we heal back all of our HP, and the Chesto Berry that Barboach is holding immediately wakes us up. One more hit takes out Belly Bolt, summoning Iono's Luxio. It tries to intimidate us, but Barboach is too obliviously stupid for it to have any effect. After 2 Stomping Tantrums bury Luxio in the dirt, Iono is down to her final Pokemon. However, Mismagius is an absolute beast with a dangerous Terra typing. Fortunately, the Amnesias mean that we can tank Hexes really well, and from here, the rest of our team can gradually chip away at Mismagius, with one final play rough from Azumarill sealing the win. That gives us badge number 3, as well as a win over one of Water's biggest weaknesses. Hello Archie, I'm Gita, the champion of Paldea. Let me guess, now the lamest champion ever is going to mock my team Splash name too? Oh, no, I think it's a great name. I'd love to join your team. Hey, how's Team Splash coming along, Archie? I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never been known by that name. Yep. Definitely never existed, ever. With the new level cap, we've got access to some team upgrades. First is our Seagull, evolving into the Postman Pelipper, who has an incredibly useful ability. On top of that, our singular, Lonely Wiglet also evolves into the triple-pronged, slightly concerning Wugtrio. With these 2 upgrades, naturally, the Fire-type Team Starboss, Mela, was an absolute breeze, as our Water types quickly drowned out both of her Pokemon. I can't believe I lost to Team Splash. Oh, change of plans. Now we've got an even more threatening team name. Team Puddle. That's even worse. How dare you? Prepare to meet your doom, Lava Girl. Having taught Mela a quick lesson, our next fight isn't much worse, as it's the simple, single-wormed Titan, Orthworm. Personally, I'd prefer to just flush it out from underground, but instead we have to beat it in battle. I counter the singular worm with our superior Triforce of Worms, and try to slaughter the slug with a super effective Stomping Tantrum, but I forgot about Orthworm's Earth Eater ability. This is my punishment for betraying the sea and even daring to use a ground move. Anyway, after a string of super effective water pulses from our Worm Trinity, the ace of Team Puddle, Quaxwell, kicks that steel worm into its grave with a barrage of low kicks. Arven only needs to stand and watch as Quaxwell stomps on the Titan over and over, defeating yet another Titan. Archie, seriously, I don't want to be a part of Team Wet. That's okay, Arven. I completely understand. Wait, really? Oh, thank heavens you get it. Yep, you're not worthy yet. That's why you're just an intern of Team Puddle, silly. Oh, come on. How am I only an intern? I could at least be a cheerleader. Those last 2 fights were very clean, and we were about to find Nirvana. Cascaratha. Feast your eyes, Team Puddle grunts. Water in the fountains, water in the rivers, even water on the walls. This is truly a world of paradise for Team Puddle, and it'll also be the perfect location for our plans. It's only fitting that in making the pilgrimage to Cascaratha, we have to suffer through our hardest gym challenge yet, crossing the Asado Desert. the bane of hydrophiles everywhere. This was such a dangerous trek. We encountered such horrible things like sand, a baby elephant, sand, a walking Stonehenge, and did I mention the sand? This place is a nightmare. But at the end of this hellscape, we find an oasis. Our one true ally in this region, Kofu. He's a water type expert, clearly making him one of the most intelligent and powerful trainers in all of Paldea. Before we have the honor of facing him in battle, we've got to take on Kofu's apprentice and... Wait, did Floatzel just shoot water out of its butt? That's so weird. I want one. Ah, finally, a fellow sophisticated man of water-type culture. Someone who I can finally have an intelligent conversation with. Fishies are funny. Yes, right, you are. Don't you wish we could just flood this region? I like eating glue. Damn it, Kofu! We clearly had an ally with the greatest legal mind in Paldea. But before we're ready to take on the big man in battle, I needed to add a new member to the team. On the outskirts of Porto Marinada, I hunted until I found... Weasel. It's an adorable water weasel, but doesn't stay small for long, as we can immediately evolve this little guy into its final form, Floatzel. And I can't think of anyone better to represent Team Puddle. Just look at its Pokedex photo. A bunch of guys just hanging out. You love to see it. With this super water squirter, alongside two allies, it was finally time for our most important fight in the entire game. Not just one to reach our final goal, but to prove ourselves as the best, wettest water trainer there ever was. This will be a battle of gods, Kofu. What an honor this truly is. Tide Pods are yummy. Kofu leads with Veluza, and we respond with our Floatzel, who's just itching to taste some seafood. Crunches deal huge damage, as two chomps are all we need to draw first blood. Next in is Wugtrio, Kofu's very own wiggly worms. We soften them up with a double hit before setting up a mirror match with our own Wugtrio. And in this dramatic standoff, we learn a valuable lesson. No Wugtrio can best another. While we do get the knockout with a stomping tantrum, a sandstorm sweeps by and takes out our worms too. This leaves Kofu with only his Yeti Crab, and while Crabominable looks like this, Azumarill still steps up and charms the arms off of Kofu's ace, drastically lowering its attack to... yeah, this much damage. This allows Floatzel to come back in, tank a slam like a boss, before one last tasty chomp knocks out Crabominable. That victory gives us badge number 4, as well as establishes Team Puddle as the strongest, wettest water force in all of Paldea. You fought well, Kofu, and for your efforts, I'd like to offer you the role as legal counsel of Team Puddle. Kofu demands appropriate compensation for his skills. I'll give you one yummy stick of glue per week. Deal. Our organization was growing, but now it was time to once again face our rivals, as Team Star is back on the agenda. To take them on, we're going to need a bastion of power that embodies raw Sigma energy. Slowpoke. This derpy lady might not seem powerful, but trust me, at her full potential, she'll become a god. On top of that, with the level cap, our trusty Barboach can evolve, becoming a goofy and lovable Whiscash. Alongside Slowpoke, these two are a mortifying duo, despite their goofy exterior. And as we approach the Tag Tree Thicket, we were about to demonstrate their power. Archie, I heard you disbanded Team Splash. Yeah, that team sucked. Huh, I agree. So, what team are you on now? Team Puddle. Naturally, I take it you want to join? Oh, wow, look at the time. I have to go, water my cat. While Clive tends to his cat, we have bigger fish to fry. Team Star's Atticus is the toughest Team Star boss yet, with a quartet of fully evolved toxic terrors. However, with our newest recruits, I was feeling confident. Oh god, Whiscash, they trapped you in the gate! Team Star's evil truly knows no bounds. Let's make them pay. The start of this fight is scary. Against Atticus's stinky Skuntank, 2 sucker punches bring our catfish to half HP. Thankfully, a few stomping tantrums from Whiscash are enough to take out his lead. Atticus responds with Revavroom, and while Assurance brings us to low HP, Rest heals us all the way back up. We tank hits over the next few turns, as Atticus uses us as a sleeping punching bag, but once we've woken up, a single stomping tantrum is all we need for the KO. Against Muck, we repeat this process all over again, and once we've woken up, the pile of sludge is decimated by Aquatail. Last is the big bad Revavroom, and this thing is not to be taken lightly. It's got huge HP, dangerous moves, and an even more dangerous ability. Once again, Whiscash is sent to the Land of Dreams for a nap, before switching out into Wugtrio, who gets hit hard by a Noxious Cork. And to make matters worse, our worms are outsped, falling on the next turn. Slowpoke is able to deal some chip damage with Surf, but the giant car hits so hard. Despite Whiscash getting some much needed rest, our fish is an absolute god. Despite Revavroom's enormous power, the killer combo of Rest and Stomping Tantrum gradually wear down the giant car, and eventually Whiscash had somehow swept through the entire third team star boss on his own. Can we get some W's in the chat as a sign of respect for our W fish? Thy noble effort in battle was truly extraordinary. The makings of a great leader. Wow, thanks Atticus. Say, have you ever thought about joining Team Puddle? No way, that name sucks, bro. It really does. I don't actually have a cat. I just think your team name is stupid. I hate all of you. Why doesn't anyone take us seriously? Is it our hat? Is it our confusing endeavors to crush the world despite our inability to swim? No, obviously not. It's because they're underestimating our power. Therefore, now it's time to bring out the big guns. Our duo of ducks were a measly pair in the beginning, but now it's time for them to reach their full potential as Psyduck evolves into Golduck and Quaxwell is promoted to the top duck of the team, Quaquaval. But these two would be the supporting characters for our newest recruit who would be pivotal to the next fight, Shelder. This happy little clam might seem like a tasty snack for Floatzel, but with the power of a Water Stone, we can immediately boost its power into the top tier defensive beast, Cloyster. And it was going to be perfect in the upcoming battle against the salaryman, Larry. Wow, great outfit, Larry. But where's your hat? It's a part of our uniform. No, I'm not a part of your... Don't worry, I've got a spare just for you. Look at us. What a good duo we are. That being said, Larry has a long way to go if he wants to climb the ranks because Cloyster is going to show him no mercy. His lead Kamala can't do a lot to us, especially after buffing our bulk with Iron Defense. It does yawn at us, but our Chesto Berry immediately wakes us up before enacting the next part of our plan, Shell Smash. This buffs our offensive capabilities while still having a crazy high defense, and that means that Kamala's Slam does... Wow, that's embarrassing, Protege. By the time we wake up, we're super powered and super fast, meaning that Larry's normies fall like flies, one after the other. It was a massacre. Cloyster crushed that fight, but we weren't done yet with the disgusting Florophile, Nemona, coming in to rain on our parade. However, a single Shell Smash from Cloyster is all we need to wipe out her first 3 Pokemon. And after a quick assist from Golduck, our commander Quaquaval finishes the croc with one final Aqua Step. Take that, Nemona. We're the best team around. Yeah, you are, Archie. I can't wait to represent Team Puddle as champion. Team Puddle is over. Geeta's lameness is one of our biggest threats to our team's reputation, and we need to overthrow her as soon as possible to keep respect on our name. But before we can do that, we have to tackle the final 3 gym leaders, starting with the freestyling pensioner, Rhyme. In order to face her, however, we have to ascend Paldea's main mountain to reach Montenevera, and this is risky for us water types, as the higher we go, the more icy it gets. We're going to end up as Team Snowflake at this rate. Maybe we should reconsider our principles. Thankfully, we safely reach Montenevera, where we can get another upgrade to our team, as Marini evolves into the CEO of Big Stall, Toxapex. And this is exactly who we need to help take on the next gym. Before we can battle though, we have to warm up the crowd as the opening act. This venue is so hot, it'll melt the Montenevera snow. Perfect. Exactly what I was hoping for. Wait, what? Dude, what is wrong with you? You're melting all the ice. Aha! My genius is unparalleled, all according to plan. Rhyme doesn't understand our big brain plays, so it was time to send her to the cleaners. We open the double battle with Toxapex and Pelipper, setting up the rain for our water team to thrive in. Then, a Tailwind from Pelipper doubles our speed, while a Toxic Spikes from Toxapex sets a trap for Rhyme's next Pokemon. On the following turn, we protect with Toxapex, as Pelipper fires off a rain-boosted Surf, doing solid damage to Banette while also breaking Mimikyu's disguise. With Banette on the brink of death, a Surf and Venoshock combo is all we need to draw first blood, while the remaining Mimikyu can barely touch our spiky soldier. Next in is Houndstone, who is immediately poisoned by entry hazards. After hitting it with a painful combination of attacks, we position ourselves such that in the same turn, an Air Slash finishes Mimikyu, and the poison damage also finishes off Houndstone. This leaves Rhyme with only her ace, Toxtricity, but it's a 4v1, so this should be easy, right? Well, after Rhyme terastallizes, earthquakes from our catfish do surprisingly little, while Discharge absolutely fries our Pelipper. And to make matters worse, Rhyme gets an Omni boost, making her ace even more dangerous. An Aqua Tail does even less, while a Hyper Voice brings Whiscash into the red. Toxtricity quickly kills Toxapex with another Discharge, and after Hyper Voice also finishes Whiscash, our backs are against the wall. This 4v1 quickly descended into a 1v1, and unfortunately, a play rough still isn't enough, leaving Toxtricity on a slither of HP. There's no way we can survive another Discharge, so this battle is over. Unless Neptune toughs it out. Our Water Bunny somehow clutches another fight, barely giving us the win over Rhyme. Our next objective brings us back into the dreadful desert, this time to take on the Titan, Great Tusk. You'd think that we'd be intimidated by such a huge beast, however, we have something even more fearsome in our own pocket. Slowbro. Oh god, look out Archie, this Titan is dangerous. There's no way you'll... Whoa, that Slowbro's kinda busted. You know what, Archie? You've convinced me. I want to become a member of Team Puddle. Well, Arvin, that's fantastic. Yep, I'm super excited to... Unfortunately, Team Puddle no longer exists. Now we're Team Slowbro. Why don't you try on our new uniform? I think I've changed my mind. With such a dominating performance, it only felt right to worship our new Lord and Savior in an oceanic paradise. And with the guidance of our new Messiah, Slowbro would guide us in overthrowing the final two gym leaders. First is Tulip, who may have tried to charm us away from a life of crime, but we're way ahead of her. Look, in the gym challenge, we've got a follower already. You better like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to join Team Slowbro too. Slowbro's reign of terror was far from over, and Tulip was about to feel our wrath, because Surfs wash up her Farigiraf, Shadow Balls crush Gardevoir and Espathra, and up against her ace, Florges, we wear it down before tagging out into Floatzel, who finishes the fight with one last deadly chomp. That fight was straightforward, but the final gym leader is a very different story. Grusha specializes in ice types, which is utterly insulting. They're just cold water types, you hack. Don't get this twisted. This will be the most intense, most dramatic fight of the entire game. Whee! Are you done fooling around, Challenger? One sec. Whee! Okay, now I'm done. His lead Frostmoth is a horrifying bug type, our Slowbro's biggest fear. So, this responsibility falls on our duck as an acrobatics swipes through the icy moth in just one shot. Grusha's Beartic hits the field next, and now it's time for Slowbro's magic trick, Breathing Fire. Slowbro, for some reason, can learn Flamethrower, and two of these singe the polar bear into its watery grave. Against Titan, nothing can really hurt us, so we're safe to boost our special defense with Amnesia before slacking off to recover our HP. And from here, this fight was a Pyromaniac's dream, as we quickly set his final two Pokemon ablaze with Flamethrower. Our Slowbro had crushed the last three major fights with ease. We are truly on top of the world. Wow, Waterboy, you still think you can crush us? Absolutely, you heathen. We've beaten you before, and Team Slowbro will beat you again. Wow, I love the name, Archie. I'll be sure to get my own uniform soon. You've disbanded Team Slowbro? Yeah, my Slowbro wanted to lay low for a bit. She had a good run as mascot. It's our destiny to take on the two champions of Paldea, but before we can drown them out, we still need to eliminate the remaining Team Star bosses, beginning with the petty rich boy, Ortega. Alright, you flood-obsessed freak, it'll be me and me alone that's going to crush Team Wet. Nah, we're not Team Wet anymore. Ah, I see. Looks like Team Star will crush Team Splash. Nope. Team Puddle? Nada. Team Slowbro? Not anymore. Then who are you? I don't know anymore. But please don't tell Gita. Ortega might have a strong quartet of fairies, but we have the most toxic thing known to man. Seriously, Toxapex already has insane defenses, but Toxic Spikes, Recover, and Acid Spray are all that's needed to melt Ortega's fairies into a pink puddle. Even the giant Revavroom can't do anything to our spiky shield, as Acid Sprays continue to stack up before Revavroom is eventually sent to the scrap heap no problem. So, only one Team Star boss remains standing, but before we took them on, there was one other addition to the team that I had in mind. You might think that Herba Mystica is why we've been pursuing the Titans, but for what? To heal some dying dog? Screw that! I want watery world domination! We've been hunting Titans to scout for a new Pokemon, and this has led us to the top Titan, Dondozo. Just look at this giant catfish. He's perfect for the team. A few grass knots from Slowbro bring the Titan to low health, and now is the perfect chance for us to catch. Alright, stand back, Archie. I'll take it out for us. Wait, no, Arvin, we need it for... team. Well, we did it, Archie. What's wrong with you? That was my Titan to catch. Wait, catching Titans? I thought you were helping me get Herba Mystica for my dog. Screw your dog. That was what we needed to flood the region. Wait, you want to flood the region? You're messed up, man. I quit Team Slowbro. You need to be stopped, you sick water freak. I can't believe it. Our team's mascot betrayed us. It's enough to make a man want to sink every piece of land around him. While it isn't quite a Titanic size, we can find ourselves another Dondozo in the lake to add to our squad. At the very least, it can be a big brother to our goofy Whiscash. But it'd be a part of our team to take on one of the most dangerous fights of the game, Eri. Her quintet of fighting type aficionados want any pushover, and we need to be on our A game if we want to topple the final domino of Team Star. Alright Archie, I've been waiting for you. Now tell me, what team am I going to crush under my feet? We're actually the Anti-Arven Alliance now. Do you want to join? No? Then you shall perish! Eri's team of fighters are no joke, so we had to assemble a terrifying roster of our own to take her down. Leading with Pelipper, we're able to set up the rain with Drizzle, as well as a tailwind to boost our speed. Despite being poisoned in the process thanks to Poison Jab, a single hurricane is all we need to launch Toxtricity into the sky, as well as the Pessimian that follows. Our tailwind peters out as Lucario enters the field, but this is where Azumarill can shine, as the combination of Rough and Aqua Tail can crush that furry into next week. Annihilate is much more dangerous with its Rage Fist, but our bouncy bunny bounces all over it for the KO. The fifth and final Revavroom is the deadliest of them all. However, I had a plan, because our Quaquaval knows the move Feather Dance, and by crumping in the face of the car, its attack is severely reduced. With the oversized bumper car now neutered, Pelipper can safely come back out, heal up with a Roost, before two back-to-back Hurricanes rip through Revavroom. Postman Pelipper delivers Eri a big fat L, and we'd finally beaten the last leader of Team Star. Alright Eri, Team Star's leaders are done, but I know that you have a secret leader in the background, so tell me, who are they? Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? Alright, I'll tell you, our leader is the child of Maxie. What? Yep, think about it. The sun is the brightest star of them all. Team Star exists to burn bright and evaporate the oceans of Paldea, just like Team Magma. You heathens! Meet our leader at Mesagoza, and your oceanic adventures will be stopped once and for all. We're despised by the champion, we've been betrayed by our closest ally, and now we're being conspired against by an evil land-loving team? Our backs are firmly against the wall. It all feels like too much to overcome. You know what we need? A hero. And there's one last member who is perfect to fit that role. Because by catching Finizen, an adorable little dolphin, we can evolve it into the magical, powerful, and downright broken Pokemon, Palafin. Wait, it looks exactly the same. Ah, there we go. Look at this beast. This is Aquaman, our hero who would lead the charge in the final leg of this challenge. Let's do this. Oh, look, it's the water weirdo. You tried to sabotage Mabosstiff, and your team name sucked. I'm gonna crush you. No, Arven, you're facing off against the top trainer in this region, and I'm the leader of Team Aqua, an organization who will drown Paldea. Despite our power, Arven is carrying a top team in his own right, so our new hero was going to have a tough debut. Against Arven's lead Greedent, Palafin uses Flip Turn to pivot out into Slowbro, who eats the incoming critical hit Body Slam. While using Slack Off to stall, our Rocky Helmet is gradually chipping away at Greedent whenever it dares to lay its grubby little paws on Slowbro. Despite Slowbro becoming paralyzed in the process, a Psychic, followed by Rocky Helmet damage, is all we need to draw first blood. Next is Toadscruel, a dangerous grass type who can't be taken lightly. Sadly, Slowbro throws its body on the line for our cause, as it's sacrificed to a Power Whip. I send in Pelipper next, as our Posty is neutral to grass moves, so I set up a Tailwind to boost our speed before being hit by Spore. And Arven continues his absurd luck by landing another crit. This was feeling really dicey. Fortunately though, Pelipper clutches up for us, waking up in one turn to land a huge hurricane before falling. And this is the perfect window for our hero to return to the field, as an Acrobatics not only finishes the land squid, but against Arven's fiery peppers, another Acrobatics gets the one-hit kill. Palafin is busted. We do big damage with a Flip Turn on Garganacl, with Whiscash finishing the Pixelmon with an Earthquake, and despite Arven's Cloyster making us question if we should try to recruit him again, he takes out our Catfish. There'll be no prisoners. Quaquaval kicks the Pearl off of Cloyster, and while Mabosstiff can retaliate with a KO, it's only fitting that Dondozo slides in and finishes the fight against our fellow Titan Toppler. Arven had been sent crying off into the distance, but he got off lightly. That's nothing compared to what I'm gonna do to that land-loving leader of Team Star. Alright, Penny, so you're the child of Maxi, but why are you here? Well, it all started 17 years ago, when Groudon summoned a volcano, and my family had to flee for war crimes, and sorry, I actually don't really care. Fine, my evolutions and I are going to stop your crazy plan to flood Paldea. Well, in that case, I'm gonna have to throw out the big guns.
Corp.
Oh god, she's really not taking this lightly. Thankfully, our Pokemon in the back are ready to bring the heat to Penny, starting with Toxapex, who can villainously lay down 2 layers of toxic spikes to cripple the rest of Penny's team before poisoning her Umbreon with Toxic. And after a switch into Wugtrio, some triple dives finish off that Moon Puppy. Next is Jolteon, who is completely useless against our goofy Whiscash. Leafeon is demolished by a Venoshock, Flareon feels the wiggle of our Worms, Vaporeon falls to toxic damage, and Penny's ace, Sylveon, still can't penetrate the defenses of Toxapex as it too succumbs to a poisonous fate. We may have crushed her in battle, but we have to make sure that Team Star is buried once and for all. Hey boss, we're here for that meeting you called. Wait, I didn't call any meeting? Well, then who did? And what's that sound? With Arven defeated and Team Star vanquished, now it was time for the last pillar to fall. If we can become the only champion, there'll be no one left to stop our master plan. However, we still have to take on some of the toughest trainers in the region ahead of us, so I brought everything I could to take them on. Before that though, we do have to pass an exam. Alright Archie, just a quick test for you. First question, do you want to flood the world into an endless pit of despair, despite the fact that you can't even swim? Maybe? I'm pretty sure I can count your IQ on my fingers. Oh, you'll pay for that. Rika has the terribly unfortunate fate of being a landlubber, meaning that our heroic dolphin can clean up her disgusting ground types one after another. While her ace has the annoying water absorb ability, we still have enough firepower, with acrobatics and close combat slaughtering the landlocked fish. And Poppy might be bolstering a bold team of steel soldiers, but what if we threw them up against a happy little catfish? The painful combination of Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Aqua Tail, and Rest are enough to absolutely blitz through the entirety of the toddler's team. Seriously, even her ace Tinkaton couldn't survive a single attack from us, once again putting the W in Whiscash. Wait, hang on, Larry, where's your hat? Sorry dude, I was recruited by Team Sky. There's just no one you can trust nowadays. Not even Larry could be spared from our wrath. His team of Sky Dwellers are tough, but the might of Team Aqua is far more powerful. With an onslaught of big-brained ocean tactics, our water types quickly swept Larry the Betrayer, as well as his Pokemon, straight into the dirt. That's 3 down. The last man standing is Hassel, but let me ask you this. Who would win? 5 mythical beasts hell-bent on crushing us, or 1 clam and some green dice? Well, after tanking a Dragon Pulse from the lead Noivern, Cloystar can set up a Shell Smash. With this, now we're clear to rain down Icicle Spears all over the Dragon Master. With a loaded dice in our pocket to boost our hits, we sliced and diced those dragons one after another in an absolute slaughter. We beat them so badly that Hassel nearly flooded the room with his tears. We had dominated the Elite Four, but all of that was just a warm-up. Now it's time for the main event. Alright Archie, I've had it. I don't need your stupid team. I've got my own team. Oh yeah? And what's that? Team Rocket. There's nobody that can stop us. Oh, Geeta, I almost pity you. Almost. Despite our big talk, taking down a champion is still no easy feat. The fashionista Espathra doesn't have much for our dopey god, as Shadow Ball rips the psychic type in two. Kingambit is a lot more threatening though, and while Azumarill seemed like a good match, Iron Heads do a lot of damage. Right, time to break the emergency glass. Bring out the hero. Even in its zero form, Aquaman can still take out the samurai with a close combat. Geeta sends in her Go-Goat next, so I switch into Pelipper, who can handle the grassy goat with a few hurricanes. While Avila does defy my expectations by taking out our big bird, ultimately, our Titanic catfish can shatter the iceberg into pieces with Aqua Tail. Ooh, the loser. Sorry, we only have room for 6 fish on the team. You hate to see it. A barrage of order-ups from the Don give us the KO, leaving Geeta with only her ace, Glomora. And after terastallizing, it immediately finishes us off with a Sludge Wave. But I know exactly which 2 Pokemon I want to finish the champion with. Our Palafin readies the final blow with a flip turn before an Aqua Step from our Day 1 Duck dances all over the rocky flower, finishing the fight in a dominant fashion. Looks like Geeta's blasting off again! Wait, did I just see Geeta fly across the sky? Perhaps? Alright, you hydrophilic freak, I'm gonna take you down for good. Well, Nemona, you best get your swimming goggles. This is what our journey has always been building to, from embarrassment on the outskirts of the big city to this. And Nemona's team is no pushover, with powerful team members that present a real threat. So, who better to lead than our second in command? Quaquaval doesn't back down from Lycan Rock as an Aqua Step demolishes that doggo in a single shot while also raising our speed. Cormot did wreak havoc on our first encounter, but now we're far better prepared. By Feather Dancing, we harshly lower its attack and withstand a painful double shock. However, now it's no longer an electric type, meaning that our acrobatics is now super effective, crushing that mouse in a single shot. The slimy slug to Dunsparce doesn't even last a second, as close combat rips it to shreds, and that's half of Nemona's team down. However, the duck streak doesn't last any longer, as Orthworm is able to withstand our dance moves before taking Quaquaval down with Body Press. Fortunately, our team has plenty of firepower left, as Palafin can fire off a close combat of its own to take out the Metal Worm. Then, against Goodra, we switch into our Fairy. A Sludge Bomb does a lot of damage, but not enough to stop a Play Rough from tearing Goodra apart. This leaves Nemona with only her fiery fiend, Skeledirge. It can withstand Azumarill's Aqua Tail and take it out, but now Skeledirge is at the perfect amount of HP. And it's time, guys. Our ultimate weapon, Magikarp, finish the job!
Gorp, gorp, gorp.
Okay, I seriously don't know why I keep doing this. Thankfully, we still have our hero. A liquidation chops the croc in two, winning us the fight, and you know what that means, Nemona? Here comes the wave. We've washed up Team Star, shown Arven the wrath of Team Aqua, and flushed out the champions. Now, we're ready to flood Paldea and turn it into paradise. But where do we start? From Misagoza? Maybe Cascarafa? Or how about the peak of Glaciado? No, we need to start all the way from Area 0, right at the bottom of the crater. That's right, I'm going to turn on the tap in Area 0 and leave it running for a really, really long time. Eventually, this whole region will be flooded. Wait, are you seriously going to flood the Paldea crater when you can't even swim? You know what, Arven? You're right. Okay, let's do this. We descend down into Area 0, our floaties in tow, right before reaching the crucial point, the terastallized laboratory where Professor Sada resides. I'm sorry, Archie. As an AI robot, I cannot let you continue your mission. Oh? You're just like everyone else. Tell me, is it because you think my team name sucks? What? No! I just don't want to pay the water bill. I'd sell my own son before I do that. And so, it all comes down to this. The final fight of Pokemon Scarlet against Sada and her terrifying team of Paradox Pokemon. This is, by far, the toughest fight yet. But with our goal front of mind and Team Aqua's best 6 Pokemon assembled, we were ready to give it our all. Against Sada's lead Slitherwing, we start the waterworks with our Rain Bearer, Pelipper. A lunge does a squeak of damage to us, clearing us to set up a Tailwind. Now we outspeed and annihilate that bug on the following turn with a single Hurricane. Next in is Fluttermane, and this is Sada's secret weapon. Crazy strong, insanely fast, and immensely powerful with an electric move no less. So, to counter that, I switch into Whiscash, who absorbs those bolts like they're nothing. We set up a Dragon Dance to raise our attack and speed, but a Shadow Ball does huge damage. And now our Tailwind has petered out. This is so risky, but we have to keep Whiscash in and set up another Dragon Dance. We just desperately need to survive this next Shadow Ball, and we survive on 2 HP. This tiny window lets us set up once more before an earthquake crushes that pest no problem. Sada responds with Brute Bonnet, and sadly, we have to sacrifice our Catfish for the greater good, but thank you for your service, W-Fish. In its wake, Pelipper can re-emerge to set up another Tailwind. This is followed by a huge Hurricane, which brings the Sushroom down to its non-existent knees. Next in is Sandy Shocks, a dangerous electric type. We don't have a clean switch, so I have no choice but to have Pelipper deal some damage with Surf before our Postman is electrocuted by a discharge. Thankfully, with Tailwind still up, Azumarill outspeeds and KOs those prehistoric magnets no problem. For some reason, the incoming Screentail tries to use Ice Punch on our water team. How pathetic. This sets us up for Palafin to get in safely, and it's frozen? Oh god, that's really bad. I needed our hero for Sada's final Pokemon, so this is now very dicey. Thankfully though, in our time of need, Slowbro can come on in and Mind Crush the Jiggly monster with a Shadow Ball, but we're still in a dangerous spot, as now it's Roaring Moon time, an insanely powerful creature who gets even stronger with its attack boost, ripping through Slowbro with Night Slash. This isn't good. Our hero is down in our time of need. What can we do? But as I started to doubt, Quaquaval stepped up to the plate. Our first recruit to Team Aqua, and an absolute beast in its own right. Our second in command tanks a Dragon Claw like an absolute Chad before an all-out close combat absolutely crushes that dragon dinosaur right out of the sky. With that, we had defeated Sada, and Archie could finally complete his goal of flooding Paldea. Jump into this video next for more Pokemon content, and subscribe to the channel if you're a real Team Aqua ally. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.